To some people, you would say the bar was really low for the interview for Sarah Palin because she did such a bad job with Katie Couric's interview. But some would say the bar was really high because, you know, she had a lot of performance, to aspire to. I think, me personally, I think the bar was exceptionally low for Sarah Palin, and she couldn't even reach that.
I think Joe Biden improved himself to kind of talk to what he wanted to hear, not what the Americans wanted to hear. I think she did excellent. I think she got a lot of Republicans rallied together to support. I think she pulled in some of those moderate voters that maybe hadn't decided yet, and they said, wow, she's really someone we can relate to. She makes good points, and she's patriotic.
The outlets, I think, everybody thought she was going to fall over herself or something, but she very much, when hired that bar, she very much exceeded expectations. She was very relatable, very smooth, very cool, very in touch with how people were reacting. She answered the questions straightforwardly. I think that she related to lots of people, and I think she very much won this debate. I think that her opponent, Joe Biden, kind of used a lot of senatorial talk. He talked back and redefined things and didn't relate to the American people very well. And I think the energy policy and the current housing crisis were two of the most talked about issues in the debate.
I think the most important thing was when they broached over the current issue that we're going through with, the $700 billion bailout and with tax.
I would say, like most people, the economy, the struggles that are facing the everyday citizens, the middle class. I think that Joe Biden explained that Barack Obama and him their tax plan would be a lot better for the middle class.
I think one of the critical issues that's going to be very important to America is the oil dependency, and I think she made a very good, excellent point of why we're putting billions of dollars into foreign countries when we have oil right here in America. And going into it, people thought that Sarah Palin was some idiot that couldn't do anything, and I think she really proved herself at this debate.
Well, my candidate for vice president is Joe Biden, and I think he presented himself as a very hard-nosed person. He presented himself as also a fair person, and I think, he's energized as a candidate. I think Barack Obama would be even more energized in the polls simply from his performance.
Going before the debate, that Joe Biden was this gaffe-prone person who says these random things, who just blurts whatever is on his mind. I don't think we saw any of that today. I think you saw a person who's calm, collective, and is able to display a thoughtful understanding of issues.
Going into it, I was a little worried because we keep on hearing these things from the mainstream media that she's inexperienced, that she's not up to the job. But every time she steps up to the plate, she knocks a home run, and I think this was a home run for Sarah Palin. She said,
you know what? I thought she was, she reminded me of a young a female growing up in maybe, Harlem or the Bronx when she said, let me give a shout out. Just the way she said that in that whole exchange, when she had that whole exchange, it sounded like somebody who wasn't ready to be the vice president of the United States. This is one of the highest offices in the world. And she wants to give shout outs to her homies. I was highly offended.
Yes, when she said that as far as the Iraqi war, we should not throw in a white flag, that really hit home to me.
Her closing statements evoked Ronald Reagan in a very relatable and very real way, and I think that really got to a lot of people who are conservative or are Republicans and relate to Sarah Palin. There was a point in which she said something along the lines of, there goes Joe Biden again, and I think that really summed up kind of how he was relating to people and how he was redefining the issues and maybe stretching things as senators sometimes do.
Palin's the stuff that she did in Alaska, where it was a bridge to nowhere. That was pretty funny. That was a good play on words. And I also liked how the moderator, Gwen Eiffel, had to remind Sarah Palin that she didn't actually answer some of the questions. And I believe during one point the crowd actually laughed at her.
Well, I think, yeah, well, I think if you look at the Katie Couric interviews, I would compare Sarah Palin's performance to a kindergartner. If you speak to kindergartners, they tend to speak in circles, and sometimes their thoughts are not very clear. And I think Sarah Palin showed herself to be very kindergarten-esque. If you look at some of the things that she talks about when she talks, she doesn't speak clear English. She clearly has grammatical errors throughout her speech. And she sounds almost like a kid. I mean, I truly felt that she was a child.
I think that Sarah Palin was certainly far more relatable in this debate than Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden may have thrown a lot of facts, or not even spin. I think Joe Biden has thrown a lot of spin out there. And Sarah Palin kept on going back to the same issues that people really worry about, the marketing crisis, the energy crisis, the economy.
So the expectations that the media had for her were so low, and I think that because the bar was so low, that, I mean, she survived. She did not make any major gaffes. She did not do anything really, really dumb. I think that she repeated the same talking points over and over again about John McCain being a reformer. Oh, they're going to change, they're going to shake up things. John McCain is doing all this stuff. She kept on repeating that over and over and over again.
A smart American, a truly intelligent American, would see that she had disjointed logic that just made utterly no sense. It was comical. I thought I was watching, I don't know if you remember the 90s Def Comedy Jam. And I swear, I was dying. I was on the floor. It was highly funny.
She might not have answered the questions directly, but I think she answered questions that the American people wanted to hear. And I think it's also very important to know that Joe Biden did get the last word on, I believe, every single question. He got the opening statement as well as the last statement.